Society itself is a scam, and I am going to prove it in today's video. Society is, in fact, a literal pyramid scheme. And by society, I of course mean economy, because if you do not have a government, you will still have an economy, because power naturally consolidates. Now let's take a look at the top of this pyramid. There are certain levels of this. There are people who own the Federal Reserve and tell the Federal Reserve what to do, but going into the detail of that and all that stuff is going to take a long time. So for now, we're just going to do it from the perspective of us, you and me, the little guy. I just have my microphone. I'm sorry about that. So first, we have the Federal Reserve, which, despite having the word federal in its name, there is absolutely nothing what to do with the government. None. Zero. Zilch. Nada. Absolutamente no. But anyway, the Federal Reserve is a private institution that prints money out of thin air. It's backed by nothing. It was backed by gold until Richard Nixon signed an executive order. Now, the US dollar is backed by oil. The more oil the United States has, or the more dollars that are used to purchase oil, the more value the United States dollar has. Okay? It is backed by a good that is necessary for civilization. That is the US dollar. Okay? That is the cash, as it were. The Federal Reserve, using the fact that this thing is backed by an entity, right? They use that and say, okay, this thing is being used to purchase something valuable. Now we can make more of the thing that we purchase our oil with and give it to the banks. The banks get a loan from the Federal Reserve. Loans they don't have to pay back because it's a buddy-buddy relationship. This is your local sort of building and loans style thing. If you're a fan of It's a Wonderful Life, this is everything from your small time financiers all the way to the big banks, Wells Fargo, JP Morgan, all that stuff. Without the Federal Reserve, this simply would not be possible. We move down the pyramid, and the banks give loans out to venture capitalists who buy property, right? In other words, someone says, I want a house, but I can't just buy the house outright. The bank says, okay, here's some money, go get that house. I run a business, you run a business, or whatever. They say, okay, I need capital in order to get my business going, right? So you talk to the bank, and the bank gives you a loan. The most important thing here in all of this is that when you get a loan, it isn't taxed, because taxing a loan is stupid. You're already paying 7% interest rate with the current interest rates, but you're also, if you had to pay taxes on top of the interest rate you had to pay, no one would get a loan and it would have no benefit. This is where, because of the simple logic of paying taxes on a loan that you have to already pay interest for, will make it so that no one wants to get a loan. And that means that the Federal Reserve, and by extension the US dollar, has less power. Dollars, money, and an economy. The dollars, or the cash, the currency, only has value if people are, one, have some of it, and two, spend some of it. You need a combination of people doing both of those things in order for said thing to be considered a currency. This is why crypto is a big threat to these kind of things, and why CBDCs are becoming more popular. But that's a topic for another video. Point being, venture capitalists and people and entrepreneurs, they get a tax-free loan from the bank to build their business or build their real estate empire. This is where, in the pyramid scheme, as it were, you and me come in. In this pyramid scheme, we say we start a business, we go to college, or we just go right into the 9 to 5 grind. We do something. The point is, because we cannot, unlike the banks, venture capitalists, big business, generally wealthy people, or the Federal Reserve, our time is connected to our money. That is what a job is. That is what owning a business is. Unless you do things like contractor arbitrage and some creative things with the internet, which I'll get into in a later video. What you have here on the bottom of this pyramid is you and me, the regular guy. And this is what we do in this pyramid scheme. Let's see which one of us is doing more for other people. We pay our taxes. We save money, because remember, the banks can't give out loans because they have to keep at least 10% of the capital. So you keeping your money in your bank is perpetuating this pyramid scheme that is screwing you over. And we'll get to why it screws you over in a second. You save money and go to college. You don't necessarily do it in that order. Not everyone does it in that order. But then after you go to college, you got to get out of debt. But while you're trying to get out of debt, oh no, guys, one of our endless wars is happening, and you need to fight for your country. It's just like World War II. It's just like World War II. Fight for your country. Fight for your country. And you gotta fight for your country. Who doesn't want to fight for their country? You have to be a terrible, disgusting, horrible piece of shit of a person if you don't want to fight for your country. So you go fight for your country. And in return of your government poisoning you, you get your leg blown off because Vietnam is just like World War II or something. I don't know. Right? You have that. But what's this? You come back. The country calls you a baby killer, which is another topic for another. It was just a topic for another day. Point being, there is a cycle to this, but the problem is there is always a break in the pattern. Okay, pi goes on forever for a certain point, but it's not always the same sequence of numbers. This is where we have the boom and bust cycles. So now that we've played this game of the Federal Reserve makes money out of thin air to give it to banks, so that the banks can give it to venture capitalists and big businesses, so that you can get hired. Okay, let's go through this scheme one by one. You pay your taxes. Your taxes go to the government, the federal government, and the federal government uses that tax money to pay back the private corporation that is the Federal Reserve. That is why you have an income tax. Now, if you're sitting on $100,000 a year working as part of one of these venture capitalist firms climbing the corporate ladder, if that's the way you want to do it, way to go. But you're paying 30% in income taxes. You're paying a small percentage of your taxes to another pyramid scheme called Social Security. It's literally a scam. This Federal Reserve thing, okay, you can make the argument that it happened by accident, by a bunch of factors culminating together over time. Okay, Social Security is literally it's literally a Ponzi scheme. Literally a Ponzi scheme. But anyway, You pay your taxes, but because you're taking that 30% of $100,000 is 30 grand. If income taxes was 5%, 10%, 1%, or ideally 0%, then you'd be taking that $30,000 and you would be, I don't know, putting that money in, say, a life insurance policy or crypto or stocks, bonds, all that stuff, right? All that stuff that after your money has been taxed by the federal government comes in and gives you capital gains taxes on top of that. Not necessarily with cash value life insurance, but you get the point. Okay? So, so you do the right thing. You do what the Matrix tells you to do, what school tells you to do. Oh, don't invest your money. That's for the big cats and stuff, man. Just save your money. Money has value. Keep it in your bank. See where this is going? Right? You go to college or you take your kids to college. Okay? You're 18, you're about to go to college, you get a good score on a test that has no meaning. You then go decide, hey, you know what? I got a pretty decent score. I think I'm going to go to Harvard. I'm going to spend $60,000 a year on Harvard. The banks, which again don't really do anything but create value because they give people money so that other people can create value and then pay them back the loan. Banks don't create societal value. They only speed up the process. That's it. Okay, so where are we at on this pyramid, right? Okay, we're still on the perspective from you and me, right? We pay our taxes and all that stuff, yada 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 yada, right? We save our money. Okay, we take our kids to college, or we're the unlucky shit that has to go to one of these Ivy League universities because we've been told it's a good thing to do, right? So we go to Ivy League college, and in this college, you will be brainwashed and indoctrinated even more than you already have with a bunch of bullshit nonsense that I have gone through extensively, and it has absolutely no basis in reality. You go through that. Okay, cool. So you go to college, you waste your time doing drugs, partying, being, whether you're a man or a woman, you have a bunch of mindless sex with a bunch of people you don't care for, and honestly can't even see yourself caring for in the future if she was the only girl on the planet. You're just at a party having a good time and not really thinking about it. You could see a pattern here. It all kind of depends on you not really thinking about it. So you go to college, you get out of debt, right? You climb the corporate ladder, and then at 60 years of age, you can retire with that $500,000 that you've saved up. Let's say it's going to be a lot less than that. Let's be clear, but yeah. There's boom and bust cycles and the cycle of inflation, things getting more expensive, but more importantly, your life starts to inflate. You gotta have that fancy car. You gotta get a loan and live in the house that you pay the loan for, instead of having someone come in and rent that house that you did, like all the venture capitalists do. Don't do the thing that the venture capitalists do. That's for the venture capitalists, man. You should just stay in suburbia and buy a bunch of shit you don't need to impress a bunch of people you don't really care for. So you do that, right? And then your kids grow older. They do the same thing. Rinse, repeat. You and me are trapped here in this bullshit being taken advantage of by the Federal Reserve. When you pay your taxes, what you are doing is you are paying the government in order to pay back the Federal Reserve on the bank's behalf. Can't even benefit the way venture capitalists, like say Grant Cardone, the author of Grant Cardone, and then a different person I'm thinking of, which is the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, and for the life of me I cannot remember his name. Then there's, and it just continues and continues and continues. We're trapped in a cycle of deceit, and this cycle of deceit is causing inflation. Every single economic system, even ones that I'm currently in favor of, things like Bitcoin and crypto, there are boom and bust cycles with every aspect of the economy. But one of the major aspects of the American financial system is our boom and bust cycles are deliberate. Every seven or so years, right? Go back to 2008. We could go back to that. We're currently experiencing something similar right now with the Silicon Valley Bank, as it were, and it's only going to escalate because, again, these boom and bust cycles in the American economy are deliberate. They're on purpose. They're on purpose. The venture capitalists, this is where they benefit the most from the pyramid scheme. Okay, what they do is they come in and say, "Hey, bank, I know the interest rates are 7%, but I already have all my cash flow and all that stuff. I've separated my time from my money. I have investments. I'm going to buy all these other properties because all the stuff has gone down, but the interest rates are way, way up. And we're going to buy all this property." BlackRock's doing something similar. Vanguard's doing something similar. Grant Cardone is doing something similar. The people with money go to the people who have their cash flow sorted, go to the banks in order to get loans, in order to get investments that bring them cash that they can write off on their taxes. You do not get rich or even get wealthy by paying your taxes. Learn to own shit without actually owning it. And it's very, very simple. You register an LLC in the state of Nevada, Delaware, Nevada, New Hampshire, Delaware, and I think Wyoming. Don't quote me on any of my financial advice. By the way, I'm not giving financial advice in this video, or for that matter, any video. I'm giving political advice. I think this is bullshit. I think this is retarded. It's completely ridiculous. So what I'm going to do instead is I've learned that this is a giant fucking Ponzi scheme. I'm getting out of this fucking Ponzi scheme. I literally could not give any less of a shit about sticking with this system. So this is literally what I'm going to do. I'm going to document this in real time. I'm getting my cash flow sorted, and then I'm registering an LLC in the state of Nevada, and then I'm having that LLC be owned by a shell company in Dubai. Okay? Taxes are gay. Okay? Just like democracy. Okay? Read Aristotle. On the democracy part, the taxes are gay part, you can just, I don't know, common sense. Taxes keep you poor. There is nothing patriotic about paying taxes. Okay, yeah, I'm an American. I like America, but our revolution was literally a revolt about how taxes are wrong and bad. Okay. And I hope this video explained went through a general overview so that you can understand the way that I've come to understand this is all bullshit. This is all bullshit, and I'm getting out. In the meantime, click the link down below in the description if you want to scale your social media from 0 to 40K plus, okay, and get unlimited video editing and 3x your current content strategy. And if you don't have a content strategy on social media, I'll make it for you. Click the other link down below in the description to join an officially US regulated exchange and purchase some crypto because, well, banking is clearly gay. So yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that. Have a good one.